Warning, this video is only for 14 and up, and if you're under, please leave this video because I will not be accused of something I don't want to be accused of. Please, if you're under, leave the video. Stories go through the air. You can listen and you cannot. But stories are here to help. Understand what is right and what is wrong. But sometimes stories can do the opposite. There's no right or wrong. You have to form your own opinion. But that is not what you're here for. You're here to listen to this silly little god of this channel. Listens to his mind going on about his stories, about the different worlds where he's traveling to, and where he can make some small different in a timeline. Welcome to the Blue Mask What If channel. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys will enjoy. Let's begin. Hello everybody, this is Blue Mask and welcome back to my channel. As you can see on the screen right now, but if you're not, you can go back and see it again. I have put up a picture where everyone actually is. You can also notice that Izumi because this is a drawing where everyone of class 1A was in the USJ incident in the manga where they were and everything else. You see that Yusuke's not there? Well, that's Tiona. She's with eyes, and Tioni, this being Kirin, is also there. And Black King. I've also put in the rest. This took a little while to get the right pictures and how to get them. I have to find a lot of them. Alright. But yeah, this is where everyone was, and I thought I got everyone from class 1B. I didn't. I left some few out, so I have placed them where they are. So you can see on screen where they are and where some places are gonna be. I will do around, I think, 3 areas, being because I don't actually know what the fuck happens in the fire zone and water zone. That's kind of gonna be skipped over, or rain zone and fire zone. That will be skipped over. There's gonna be a little bit of Bakugo's group. Up in where the stairs were, that's not literally gonna change. They still prevent Kurogiri from leaving, while making sure that Ida could, well, leave. So yeah, but they're still gonna have some defenses with Obara and the guy that can make anything mud, and the guy that has barriers, and the guy that can weld. So they have more protection of if villains go up to them, or they can, well, do something to Kurogiri's brace. I don't know. But we're mostly gonna shut up. We're mostly gonna focus on the water zone, or the flood zone, with Kendo, Mineta, Tsuyu, Haruhime, Monoma, and the guy that can spew goo. Fuck, I need to research his name. We're also a little bit focused on Bakugo's team, Todoroki's team a little more, and then Yarurosu's, because we did see that more. We are also gonna see some other people. So don't worry, we're gonna see everyone except for, well, the people that fights in the plaza. So I hope you guys will enjoy this. Let's begin. We start where darkness surrounded someone's eyes. We do not know who it is yet, but they can feel like they're falling and falling until light came out of the portal. We see water, ground, and building floor coming towards several people. This being Kendo, Mikoto, Bell, and Eyes. These four people we see their perspective of. But first, Kendo. Kendo sees the water coming closer and closer to her. She didn't know what to do, so she embraced herself to hit water. When she hit it, she can feel her arm dislocate from the impact of the water. This fucking hurt Kendo, so she gasped in air by mistake. And seeing what just happened, Kendo immediately swims up towards the surface and coming out of the water, coughing up the water and a little bit throw up, because you're gonna throw up when you inhale water sometimes. After doing that, Kendo looks around to see where she is. Seeing that she's in the flood zone. Seeing that the boat was nearby, she swam over and got up. Well, tried to find a way up when she spotted someone being thrown up into the boat. This being blonde-haired girl thrown up by a tongue. Seeing Tsuyu and Haruhime, she swam over with Tsuyu seeing Kendo and immediately, threw her up into the boat as well. Kendo hisses when her arm literally hits the floor. Haruhime, taking a few moments, then realized Kendo was there, rushed over to check if she was okay, only noticing that her arm was dislocated, and immediately, with her power, put it back where it belonged. Thank you, Haruhime. You're welcome. But are you okay? I inhaled some water, but I'll be fine. Anyone else? No, not what I know of. Before they continue, the glue, the guy that can spew out glue, was put on the ship with Monoma coming up with Tsuyu's powers. Alright, I got some of our class. Monoma, you sound weird. Yeah, affected. It doesn't... The frog girl actually has a problem with her voice. Before they could continue, they see Mineta being thrown onto the boat harsh. Oh! Okay. Okay. I can't do his voice. Okay, ow! Ribbit, don't do that again. What did he do? What did he do? Nothing you should worry about. Alright. Kendo stood up and walked over to the edge to see around 21 villains in the water. Okay, there's 21 villains in the water right now, as I can see. Can't get out of here, and we don't know how much time they have until they get on the boat. You're right about that. No. You're right about that. Tsuyu looked over to the edge at everyone. Monoma, what quirks did you copy except for me? I got, I think The blonde-haired guy?
You need to be more specific.
Um... Um... I think he had a lightning bolt?
That's luckily. That's Kaminari.
Alright, so you have Suyus and Kaminaris. We have our Hime for healing. We have Mineta for whatever you can do. I can trap people. Yeah, trap people. And Kendo says the glue guy's name. Can you produce glue that can work in water? Yes, I tried to do that in the past and it has worked. Good. Now, looking over at the edge at the villains that was getting a little bit impatient. We need to hurry up, fast. I don't know how much it will take before they try to attack us.
What's the plan?
Monoma will probably be our best shot here. Can you activate 2 quirks at once? No, only once. 1 quirk at a time. Alright. You activate Kaminari's quirk? How does it work?
What I understand, he cannot channel it perfectly yet. So, channel Kaminari's quirk through his hands into the water. Shock the villains. Then we can wait a few moments, jump down, capture everyone, and then trap them in glue and Mineta's quirk.
Got it. What would happen if we don't? If they weren't hit?
Fight, you know?
A little bit of technique?
Alright. Throw them up to Kendo that can hit her. Hit them.
I can do that.
Good.
After some few moments, Monoma activated the Kaminari's quirk with his hands overboard. Not touching the water, but still. No, Mineta actually found a metal pole with a net on. And Kendo, ripping the plastic off of it, put the metal into the water with Monoma, using Kaminari's quirk. Shocking around 17 people in the water, meaning there is 4 still conscious in the water. After that, after waiting a few seconds, Monoma and Suyu jumps into the water to round up the villains. This is going a little too easily. Kendo said, but Harime just... You did not just say that. What? One thing you have to know, Heroes doesn't say, this goes easy, because before they could continue, they see a guy holding Monoma in his arms. He's a little bigger, like a shark guy, slamming Monoma into the wall. Now I can kill something and have their... Before he could continue, Monoma activated the Kaminari's quirk, shocking the guy into unconsciousness. Ugh. Oh! That happens. Got it. Superstitions. Never mind. After some few moments, Monoma was pulled up into the boat again, but he was in Kaminari's Wii mode at that point. Alright, let me... Harime continued to heal when Suyu rounded up the rest of the villains that was easily knocked out by her kicking them in the head. After rounding them out, Mineta and the glue guy trapped the villains in their adhesive glue and the balls on Mineta's heads. Alright then, let's get to the plaza, and let's get out of here quickly as possible.
Everyone nodded and started to jump into the water with Suyu's help. Suyu's help. They all of them swim towards the edge of the zone, arriving at the pour down storm zone, where they meet up with around 7 other people. This being Tokuyami, Koda, Mushroom Girl, Shadow Guy, Tetu, Kimi, and I forgot his name, the Wind Guy, coming out of the zone. Kendo walks over with the other, asking what happened. Well, they talked about what happened inside of the dome. They were sent there and they didn't know what was going to happen. But unluckily, the guy sent the guy that can make wind tornadoes to their zone, and that plot being it's the storm one had more ability to work here. Helps of Kimi's illusion quirks, the Mushroom Girl and the Shadow Mushroom Girl and Koda finding villains they can lure towards, well, Kimi, the Wind Guy, and Tokoyami Tetsu and the Shadow Guy can easily trap them, knock them out, or attack them outright if they're a bigger group. Nothing their explanation, all of them went towards the zone, well, the plaza area. In that plaza area, they see a bunch of villains knocked out, but they also see 3 people standing across a black skin figure with red scars and a beak. Now, we switch to a different point of view. Yes, I'm gonna teach you. We see a ground coming closer and closer towards them. Bell immediately swings around and see what he could find. Seeing a cliff right beside him, Bell immediately took out his combat knife and immediately stabbed into the wall, making him slow down, but his arm started to hurt. After stopping a little bit above the ground, Bell jumps down and landed, looking around to see where everyone was. Looking around, he saw Oka doing a carry on air, but spotting the gloves and the boots, Oka actually had Haruhime in his arms. Are you two okay? Bill ran over to his 2 classmates. I'm fine, thank you, Bell. I'm also okay. Good. Then we are together here. Yes, but it doesn't seem we're alone. Bell looked around to spotted some few villains coming towards them, this being around 7 people. Alright then. Bell grabbed his 2 combat knives and got ready into a stance. Let's see if we can take these guys out, Oka. Definitely. Oka grabbed his axe and both of them stared down the villains. After some few minutes, 2 minutes, Bell and Oka stood over the knocked out villains. This was too easy. You don't say. Now, I'm actually wondering, why am I here? What do you mean? I mean, yeah, I have combat abilities, but my quirk is fire, literally fire. Why am I not in the water flood zone or downpour zone? Now that you mention it, it's kinda weird that you're here. Do they not know our quirks? I can presume no. Harime? Belle looked at Harime that was walking over. Yeah. Have you seen anyone else when you looked around? I think I saw Setsuna from your class. I think that's her name. Green-haired with, sharp teeth. I saw her over that way, pointing a different direction towards the right. I think I also saw some ice that way, so I think Todoroki is here. Great, let's go that way. All three of them started to run towards the frozen area to find out where the two people they can find were. After around 5 minutes of searching, they found Todoroki and Setsuna, surrounded by frozen villains and knocked ones out. That didn't knock out the villains around them. That wasn't frozen. Hey! You two! Both of them turned around to see Oka talking to them. I see, there are more of us here. There is. Good! We have more people to defend ourselves here. Yes, we do. I don't need your help. Todoroki says, turning around towards one of the villains. Yeah, but you literally do. Even though you can, freeze a lot of people, you cannot handle it. I don't need... Just shut up, man. Bell walks forward, activating his flames and touching Todoroki's sides. They're not using your flames or anything else. Todoroki stopped and looked at Bell. I can feel it, man. Don't hide it. Be mad all you want. I don't care. But Bell helps Todoroki with his eyes, making sure that he was not hindered. So, interrogate? Interrogate. Great, I know some few moves. Bell walks over to a bird guy and walks up to him. Hello there. What do you want, Brett? Just want to have some few questions. First of all, why are you here? To kill All Might, for God's sake. He's the one that hinders us villains from doing what we want. Okay, good answer. Information of what they're here for. And how would you do that? What are you talking about? I mean, how would you do that? All Might is very hard to defeat. You really think I'm gonna tell my secrets? My group's secrets? Oh yeah. You know that you can get hyperthermia, right? What? Yeah, even though I think you're like a bird, you can get hyperthermia just staying in that ice. It'll catch up to you eventually. Or I can let, pointing at Todoroki, him continue to freeze you over. You're supposed to be hero brats! Yes? But who's gonna trust you? A villain or future heroes? Can you continue to talk? Or I let him freeze you permanently. After around 9 minutes of interrogation, Bell comes back. Okay, they have something he called a Nomu creature, artificial. What he knows about it, it's literally a weapon. So they have something to kill All Might. Yes, maybe. I don't trust it. That's the point. I see why. So it's a 50-50 on this one. He's telling the truth, or he's not. Yeah. Setsuna? Yes? Search around the area, make sure that no one else of the students are here, or any other villains. We're taking every single villain out unconscious. Trap them unconscious or whatever we need. We don't want them to go to other zones if the others are there. Got it. Setsuna spins around to see where everyone was, finding some around, let's say, 5 people left at the entrance. Alright, easy. Toroki, freeze them over when we get there. Got it. All of them reached the entrance to the zone, and Todoroki immediately froze them, trapping the villains with all of them rushing out. But when they got outside, they see a guy punching the Nomu away, for what Bell understands, the Nomu away from 2 others that was holding its fists. We are switching to a different POV. When the portal opens down, eyes could see Floor coming towards them quickly. Eyes immediately make sure that her quirk was activated and wind surrounded her, immediately grabbing Lufia and the guy from Class 1B. She thinks her quirk was shooting scales, but grabbing all of them and landing them perfectly on the ground. Looking around to see Bakugo, Kushima, and Mirio there. Ah, god damn it! Whoa, calm down, Bakugo. I almost had him! Yeah, okay, but... I think... Calm down, you two. Everyone turned to Mirio that stood beside Kirishima and Bakugo. What do you want, Tintin? Oh, good compliment and insult, but calm down. You two made a huge mistake there. Don't attack it if you don't know it. That was a mistake on your part. What? 13 could have handled that guy if she used her quirk. But because of you and the other guy that jumped in, we couldn't. You understand where your mistake was? Yeah, I can see it. Good. Now, it seems like we're in the earthquake zone. Earthquake? Yes, a ruined place where buildings and it simulated earthquakes. I don't know which building we're in right now because all the rooms look similar. Everyone started to talk when eyes noticing the wind changing. Someone's coming. Who? I don't know. It seems many. There are villains here. All of you, get ready. Lufia, stay. For what I understand, your quirk needs time. Yes. Alright. Pointing at Kirishima and the guy that can shoot scales. You two, protect her. Bakugo, you're what I understand, a best fighter here. Attack as much as you want, no kill shot. Maybe break some arms here. I like those words. You shouldn't. Eyes, I understand. Same thing as Bakugo. You? Same position. But I'm gonna change position, protecting Lufia as well. You got that? Got it. Don't order me around! Bakugo? What? Don't argue. This is a serious situation with villains. Fine! After some few seconds, villains started to come inside of the building, smiling evilly at, well, the people. And at that point, Bakugo, Mirio, and I started to fight them. Knocking some few villains out, Mirio looks around the building. Seems there's a few people inside of this one, meaning we can move outside and started to go to the entrance. Mirio jumps up to the room, knocking a guy out that was in front of, well, Bakugo. He almost didn't get, well, to them. There was a guy that almost destroyed one of Bakugo's gloves, but Mirio knocked him out. After around 7 minutes, the fight started to die down. Alright. Is anyone injured? No, not that much. Looking around the room, eyes could see, a bunch of people knocked out by her hands, being hit in the neck by her, well, scabbard, or cut in a place where it fucking hurts, but wouldn't kill them. She also saw some few person frozen or burnt, probably Bakugo with the burn victims, and freezing from Lufia. She also sees some few people around Kirishima and the guy with scales. Some of them with scales in their body knocked out, and Kirishima having a bunch of people just knocked out around him. Alright. It seems like this building doesn't have a lot of people, but I assume that they heard the fighting and a bunch more villains are coming here. Mirio was talking about their plan, getting out of the building and immediately getting away from small areas where villains can surround them. Going to bigger areas, they have more advantages because of their quirks. Before Mirio could continue, a guy jumps at Lufia, trying to stab her, but Eyes immediately reacted, using her sword that was in her scabbard, and knocking into the guy with her sword, knocking him out. I'm actually worried about our other classmates. Why is that? I mean, there's actual villains in the building. If these guys are this weak, picking up the guy that Eyes just knocked out, I don't see a problem with our classmates handling it. Hey, a little compliment from Bakugo. You almost like die all the time. What's that supposed to mean? Ah, he's back. Yes, I'm not that quite worried. It seems that a lot of these villains are not high tier, most like thugs or first-time criminals. So I'm not that worried about the classmates, your classmates, and our teachers. But let's hurry up. I'm still worried about that black figure with red scars. Didn't see his face. And I'm worried about that mist guy. Alright then. Coming out of the building, they saw some few villains coming towards them. This time, it was more easier because they're not in a room and they could take out more and more people. Running towards the edge of the zone, they arrive and saw the hand, a guy with multiple hands, and the mist guy standing to see three people, well, glaring up against the black figure with a beak. Switching to the last one. Mikoto landed on her feet at the area, looking around to see who and where she was. Spotting multiple villains surrounding them, and her and Chigusa was there with Momo, Jiro, and Kaminari, and the guy with a speech bubble. All of the students stood back to back, looking at the villains surrounding them. Alright, we're surrounded by villains. I can see that. Kaminari, please calm yourself down. I don't know if you can see this, but my quirk is very volatile. I know that. Momo? Yes? Please make weapons for Jiro and Kaminari. Okay. Staff to Kaminari, something to Jiro. Momo did, and both Kaminari and Jiro grabbed their weapons. What am I gonna do with this? Channel your electricity into the weapon. Make sure it flows seamlessly, but don't release all of them at the same time. Make it flow. I think I can do that. Chigusa, I have my bow and my knockout arrows. Teleport around, knock them out as mostly as possible, but keep yourself hidden. Comic book guy, sorry, don't know your name. It's alright. Makes something, traps, projectiles, anything. Got it. Jiro, defend myself and use my quirk. Yes, got it. After that, the villains started to attack them, with all of them started to attack back. After around 9 minutes of fighting, the fighting calmed down a little with all of the villains knocked out, with Kaminari in his Wii mode after Jiro kicked him into a guy, shocking him. Did you really have to do that, Jiro? What? He was complaining a lot. Yeah, but he was still useful tasing them out. Tasering them out. You doing that makes one of us a liability. Yeah, okay, I can see that now. After some few minutes of talking, planning out everything, a guy came out from the ground, grabbing Kaminari's neck. Don't move. Everyone stood there looking at the guy that had Kaminari around his neck. I don't want to hurt a fellow electricity user, but I will do it if you don't. Stand still. Shit. We should have predicted someone would have been under the ground. Now, all of you stand there and don't move. A bunch of the villains started to get up and looking at, well, everyone. Now, I can see some view. Before you could continue, a arrow with a knocked into his behind his neck, knocking him out. Few of the villains looked confused at this, but immediately Mikoto summoned her shadow and developed her sword and immediately rushed over to knock them out with it. Chigusa immediately teleported to Kaminari's side, grabbing him so he didn't fall over. I got you. Walking over to the group, everyone started to walk away from the fighting area. running into some few villains that tried to attack them, but they also got knocked out. Arriving at the entrance, they hear a loud bang at the plaza, immediately rushing out of the area and running into a different group. This being Ojiro, Ghost Girl, Mantis Guy, Shinso, Pony, and the guy that can make walls. Seeing them there and asking what the fuck happened, Ojiro tells them they landed in the fire zone. Luckily for them, a lot of them could handle the heat and they used their surroundings for help. Shinso was actually the most help, making people fall under his control and making them attack each other, knocking out and knocking their friends out so they have a more chance to survive. The Ghost Girl also helped with objects on fire, throwing it at villains or making cars that was on fire block their way from villains. Pony was also useful with her projectiles. So after, coming out of the area, all of them rushed towards the plaza area, where they could see four people fighting, but one of them looks like a creature. With the three people that doesn't look like creature, with one of the people looking like a guy with big muscles, has already punched the creature's head, with two women jumping over his shoulder, making a handstand on it, and kicking into the guy's brain. Now this is gonna be it, actually. Yeah, this is actually it. I know it's short, but I just wanted to focus on some few areas. Then we can get to the real fucking fight. Being All Might, Izumi, All Might, Izumi, Kirin versus Nomu. So, yeah. It was not a lot of fighting in this episode because there could not be a lot of fighting, but I wanted to still show the people around and tell what happened in the different zones. Up in the stairs, and like I said, it was still the same, so not a lot of change up there. But I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. Good morning, goodbye, for a while. See you later. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful time, my blue masks. Bye-bye.